Hello students, Namaste. Welcome to this session of Python once again. In the last session, we have studied what is the difference between a class variable and an object variable. The variable that is defined inside the class but before the definition of member functions are referred to as class variables, and its behavior is like a global variable within the class. Object variables are generally defined within the member functions or methods of a Python class. In this session, we are going to learn one of the most important characteristics as far as object-oriented programming is concerned. One of the characteristics of object-oriented programming is inheritance. Now, before we learn how to implement inheritance in Python, just let us try to recollect what is inheritance, though I think most of you have already completed C++ and Java, so you should be knowing what is inheritance and what are the different types of inheritance. So, what is inheritance? The basic idea of reusability can be implemented through inheritance. That means if we create a method or a function or a class somewhere and we want to use some of its or most of its properties, that means either the method or some methods of the class or some attributes of the class in some other class directly as it is, then we make use of inheritance. Out of the many features of object-oriented programming, inheritance enables coders to reduce the size of the program, and if implemented properly, it can be utilized to solve number of tasks easily. The simplest form of inheritance is, say for example, uh, a family tree where father, child, and so on, grandchild. Uh, as far as academics is concerned, there are a number of different types of inheritance. Let us consider one example. We consider the first case, case 1, where we have one college and within one college we have multiple different courses. Let me write it. Within one college, multiple courses. So basically we are first starting off with a simple single level inheritance. Uh, because all of you are students, you know that in one college there can be multiple different courses. Like in our college, there are three different courses: BBA, BCA, and BCom. And all the courses should inherit the characteristics of the college. So, let us try to start with a simple example of a single level or simple inheritance of one college with multiple courses. So, uh, we create a new file, we try to save the file, save as, and we give the name as, uh, let me give it as OP inheritance. So, let me start with a description of the program. Sorry, program to demonstrate inheritance. So again, most of the times we have been using the class student. Here also we will be making use of the class student. But right now we'll start off with creating the class college. Like we just saw the case one where we have one college and within one college we have multiple courses. So let's create the class college. We are not creating too many methods within the class college, but definitely we create the init method. Remember, it is double underscore and not a single underscore. Yes, we take self and cl name. That means the college name. Uh, as we have discussed, init is like a constructor. You can initialize the object with some parameters using the init method. Self dot cl name equals cl name. We take one more method, def sorry print data, no parameters but definitely self will be there, print, and we are just printing the college name. Sorry, it should be within single quotes, college name, and we write self dot cl name. You can just try out what if we are just giving cl name instead of self dot college name, because it should be pointing to the cl name of this college. Now you should know the importance of self, because the object variable and the class variables are different. Fine. Now let us try to create one more class first, and then we try to study or we try to initialize the object for the class. So let's create class, the one that we discussed over here. One college can have multiple courses, so we create a class for the course. Def underscore underscore init, and we have again self comma, now cs name, that is we are when we initialize we define cs name, self dot cs name equals cs name. Now we take up something, say for example over here we try to print data, and this time it is not the college name, it is the course name, and we have self dot cs name. So basically we have two classes, but now what I want to do is here the course is the derived class for the base class college. So what changes I need to make? Here I need to make college, and when I initialize uh, the course, I should be automatically initializing the college. So definitely here it will be CL name as well. And because the init method inherits the init method of the base class, so I have to write here as college dot init, sorry, self comma, am I making some mistake? No, cl name. So I am making a call to the init method of the college class over here. And definitely when I'm printing, again I need to make a call to college dot print data. Hope the spelling is correct. Yes, and it will be just self because no parameters are there. Fine. Now just try to check it. Okay, let me first create the object and let us try to check whether some errors are there or not, and then we try to go ahead. Uh, Now we create C equals, sorry, college, and we write MVM, and what we do is, sorry, print should be in lowercase, print uh, base class, sorry, base class, and now I write C dot print data. So this half the part is over. Now I create another object of the for the derived class. CS equals COURSE, yeah, and this time I'm have to pass two things. MVM college, definitely this time I have written it in a different way, and the name of the course also, BCA. So now again I write print, sorry, again it should be in lowercase, print derived class, comma, no need of comma, and I write cs dot print data. So now let us try and check if some errors are there. We need to resolve the errors and then the output will be there. Yeah, no errors. So we get the output. In fact, just I should write over here just for simplicity print, just for the sake of formatting purpose, otherwise there is no such requirement, so that the output is clearly separated. Base class we have college name, that is MVM, and derived class we have passed MVM college and the course name as BCA. Fine. So it is as simple as this to implement simple inheritance or single level inheritance as far as Python is concerned. Just let us try to recollect what we have done. We are considering case 1 because later on we are going to change this to a different scenario. We have one college, and within one college we have multiple courses. So basically what we consider is, as far as inheritance is concerned, is all the properties, that means attributes as well as methods of the college, should be inherited by the courses. That means practically if we try to implement, we are taking two classes, college class and course class. Course class should inherit, rather should be able to inherit all the properties of the base class, that is college. Now uh, as usual what we are doing is we are creating uh, one init method to initialize the college, and we are making one print data method to print the data. The next thing is, because class course is a derived class, when we define uh, the course class, within brackets we need to write the base class name. Remember, the base class is the college class. Now again we are going to initialize the course with the init course, but because we want to inherit the properties of the base class. Here the variable that was initialized in the base class should also be taken. There are two ways of referring to base class methods. This is the first way. Second way I will teach you just a little bit later on in this example. So here we are writing college dot. Why college dot? Because college refers to the base class over here, and this means that we want init method of the base class, and then we are writing self dot cs name, okay, equals cs name. Same way over here, also when we are inheriting the print data method from the base class, we are writing college dot print data. So as you see, we need not write print college name again, or we need not assign the college name again, though here only one variable is there, so the line of codes that is going to be reduced is not that significant, but the concept is more important, and we are not repeating the things, or the code of the derived class is inheriting the properties of the base class. Then the things are as usual. We initialize the object and we make a call to the method through the object. And again, this is one more important property of binding the methods and data together, which sometimes is also referred to as abstract data type. That means college is a user defined data type because uh, it binds the two things together. It is sometimes also referred to as uh, information hiding. That is, you cannot directly access uh, the print data without the object of the college. You have to use the object in order to access the methods or the data members of the class. Fine. Now, what we do is we take one more example in inheritance. Uh, we continue this case further. Within one college, we have multiple courses, and within one course, there are multiple students. So, how can we keep the students away? We are there for the students. So, there comes the second level of derived classes. That is, now we are extending this example to multi-level inheritance. First, the base class is college, then the derived class is course, and then the derived class at second level is students. So students should derive the characteristics of both the course as well as the college. So let's try to check it out, how to implement the student class within the same example. So now I am changing something over here, because now it will be multi level inheritance. The example will become an example of multi-level inheritance. So now, before we initialize, sorry, yeah, before we initialize the object, we take class student, and basically student will inherit the properties of the course, and through the course it will inherit the properties of college. So here, as a base class, I have to write only one base class name, that is course. Again, we are going to take the same thing, that is uh, we are going to take just a minute, init method double underscore init double underscore definitely self will be there. But now, how many variables? Because it is inheriting the course, definitely course will be there, but course is actually inheriting the college also. So we'll have multiple variables over here: CL name, CS name, and then ST name. ST name, that is student name. And what will come over here? If we just write uh, course dot, sorry, it should be dot init uh, self comma cl name comma cs name. So now slowly you should understand how different kinds of inheritance can help. Practically this can be implemented number of places like vehicle, uh, long vehicle, short vehicle, uh, four-wheeler car, and so on. Number of examples can be taken. In the sense, you can think of many different kinds of inheritance that you want. But yes, here definitely we have to initialize the student name. So self dot st name equals st name. Then what we do is definitely we have to print the output. So def print data. We don't have any arguments, that is for sure. And what happens is course dot, I hope the spelling is correct. Yeah, print data. I have to write self. Now we make some change over here. This will definitely work. But what I am writing is instead of course, okay, let us run this and then we'll make the change over here. And I am printing student name. uh, I have to write self dot st name. Now just let us go over here. Base class is fine. This I should not have had. I can make some corrections to this. When I print over here, I can give slash n. Oh, instead of slash I have put something else. Fine. Finally, the correct slash has come up. Otherwise, the incorrect slash was coming up. And now we make a call. We initialize st equals student. Definitely, here I have to write something else. So I write MVMC, then the course BCA, and then the name of the student Sachin, say for example. I have initialized it. Now I will print uh, derived class, and within brackets I will write level 2. That means it is second level derived class, just for our understanding. Otherwise it should be clear, and st dot print data. Now let us try to execute it. Hopefully without any mistakes it should run, and yes, it is running. There is no problem at all. base class, derived class, and the derived class at level 2. Uh, just now, let us make some changes to this program. Certain things, alternates that are available as far as uh, the syntax is concerned. Now, normally for the when we want to utilize the method of the base class, then we write the name of the base class followed by the method name. But there is other alternate also. You can simply write super followed by brackets, that is empty brackets. But when you are writing super, then you have to make sure that you are removing the self keyword. Without the self keyword, only the parameters. Let us try to repeat the same thing for print data. We could have done it for the course class as well, but we are doing it for this class. So now definitely self should not be there. Let us try to run, and there you go, it is. So while we are making a call to the method of the base class, then we can either use the name of the base class like we are doing over here for college, or we can just simply use super followed by empty circular brackets. But when we are using super, make sure that you are not using the self keyword. The same thing we have done over here, we have made use of super. So hope this session is quite simple and we have understood number of things over here. Why is What is the requirement of inheritance? The main thing, code reusability, as you can observe now after the example. Once the code is written, and if the same code is required somewhere else, it can be used very easily. There can be many different types of inheritance, but in this session, we have studied single inheritance and multi-level inheritance. First, we had studied single inheritance. Now, we have studied multi-level inheritance. So, what do we do? If college is the base class, just quick summary, and course is the derived class, because what example we are understanding over here, we have one college and within one college we have multiple courses. So definitely the course will inherit the characteristics of college. So within brackets, as you can see over here, we are writing the base class name. And same thing, when we make a call to the method of the base class, we can either use the base class name or we can use super followed by circular brackets. Uh, you have to just take care while defining the classes. Once the classes are defined, then initializing the object and making a call to the methods of the object is the same as it is. So hope this session was useful to you. Uh, Next session we'll come up with multiple inheritance. Thank you.